go to Gulfstream today. Ron Nicoletti along with Katie Stazak. And Katie, welcome to Gulfstream today. I haven't seen you yet. Did I see you yesterday? No.
No, I was not here yesterday.
You were not here yesterday, but she's here and she's got all the information we need to have a fun day here at Gulfstream Park. And if you don't know, today is Belmont Day. But right here at Gulfstream Park, we got that carryover in the Rainbow Six. There's still $50,000 guaranteed. So if you have that one unique ticket, Katie, you would get 50. That's going to be more because yesterday in the pool was over $70,000, but we give $70,000 back to whoever has the most winners on that particular day. So it should be over $50,000 today. And as we mentioned, Belmont Stakes. Are you excited?
I am so excited. There is no better place to be than right here if you can't make it to New York to watch the Belmont today. We really could be witnessing history. It would be the first Triple Crown winner in my lifetime, so I would love to see it.
Yeah, well, I mean, 1978, I was thinking about, you remember Affirmed and everything, the race, and it was just so exciting. And it's almost amazing that there hasn't been one since. We've had 11 horses that had won 2 of the 3 Triple Crown races and just couldn't get the job done. We'll see if California Chrome here at Gulfstream Park today with all the pomp and circumstance we have. We also have great stuff in the gift shop. We have a Belmont Stakes cap here. We also have a California Chrome hat, if that's who you're rooting for today. And we have shirts, all sorts of great shirts. You can see here, I'll hold one up for you right there. California Chrome shirts. Those are in the gift shop, Katie. And if you're lucky and you get one of those programs with a sticker in it, you can win one of these great hats or shirts.
Yes, we've got all sorts of colors, green, purple, white in the shirts. The hats are great. A lot of stuff wonderful available in our gift shop. And yes, if you happen to purchase a program and find that sticker inside, you get it for free.
Yeah, you get one of those things up there and they're set up and you got to get some kind of memorabilia for this great day. Like Katie said at the top of the show, could be history in the making today. California Chrome could win the Triple Crown first time in 36 years. Okay, that takes care of all of that. We want to give you some winners right here at Gulfstream Park. We have a fast main track. We have a firm turf course. There is not a cloud in the sky. Well, maybe one little white cloud over there. It's a warm day in South Florida, and we're going to start it off in the first race. Now, before we do the first race, let's go back and visit California Chrome and a horse Social Inclusion's run earlier on the Belmont card. We got the replay of the stretch run of the Preakness Stakes.
We do. Now, California Chrome is the obvious clear-cut favorite today, running for the Triple Crown. But there's a horse in there, Social Inclusion, that we know very well here at Gulfstream Park. He's run here, he's trained here, and he's running in the Woody Stephens today. He opted not to go in the Belmont. I was actually very, very impressed with Social Inclusion in the Preakness. He didn't break great. He was really ranked, but he still made a run to finish up well here. California Chrome, obviously, drawing away. Nobody's getting to him that day. We'll see if anybody can get to him today. But lots of excitement on the Belmont card, a huge undercard with a bunch of stakes, Woody Stephens included, and I would definitely go with Social Inclusion in that race.
Yeah, Social Inclusion turning back to 7 furlongs. They were undecided whether to go into the Belmont or go into the Woody Stephens. Absolutely think that was the right move to do it. You see, he was the 8 horse in the race, ended up finishing third. He made a move. He looked like a menacing move, looked like he might catch California Chrome, but California Chrome proved much the best in the Preakness Stakes. Now we'll get to our first race today. We have a 6 furlong sprint. Claimers 3 and up. Non-winners are 3 in life. $6,250. And we also have no scratches. I thought we had a scratch, but no scratches. How did you see the opener?
I think I saw it the same as you, at least with our first 2 picks. I went with Raise Back. The 1 horse, right now, gosh, the 2 is the 6-5 favorite, but I think that might change as we get a little bit closer to post time. But Raise Back is coming off a half-length win in a claimer here on May 9th. He ran for this tag. That was at 5.5 furlongs. He has come up short in his 2 tries at 6 furlongs here, but he took a 6.5 furlong event at Tampa Bay Downs in January, so I don't think distance is going to be that big of an issue, but I put him in the top of my ticket.
Yeah, I put him up there for all the reasons. Talking about the 2 horse, we've been watching this horse. Actually opened up at 1-9, but very early in the waging, 50 minutes to post. I think it's going to change, but that horse, High Stakes, makes his first ever start at Gulfstream after finishing third against similar opposition. That was in a couple of sprints, won at Calder and won at Tampa Bay. The trainer is Dennis Ward. Cable Cole has been riding in good form the last couple of days. He's actually got about 3 or 4 victories in his last 8 starts. So high stakes, could understand why he's on the ticket. But we both like the 5 in the second spot, and that is USO Club.
Yes, I like how that's spelled there, so you can phonetically read it out. USO Club, he ran on the turf last time, and he didn't fire, but he was a big long shot that day, and he has yet to hit the board in 6 starts on the grass, so I say you throw that out. Prior to that, he posted 3 consecutive in-the-money finishes on dirt and was second in his only start here on our dirt oval. And trainer Mario Morales is winning at a 27% clip with horses, making that turf to dirt move, so I think that was a planned move, and you'll see a better effort from him today.
Yeah, so we're kicking off our early double with the 1 and 5. Let's flip over to the second race, and we're going to go to the turf for the first time on Saturday afternoon, Belmont Day. This one, 1 mile and 1/16 turf course, listed as firm. Claimers, non-winners of 3 in life. Claiming price $12,500. Scratch the 4, AJ Ruler, the 9, Siete Machos, and number 10, Cashley. And how did you see the second race, Kate?
I really like Discreet Ed in this race, the 5 horse, 2-1 in the morning line. He's coming off a 3rd place finish on May 17th, but he had a pretty rough trip that day. He broke really awkwardly, he broke outward, and he had to be checked pretty hard by his jockey. He looked very uncomfortable. He was still able to close to get a piece of the purse that day, but prior to that, he posted back-to-back wins here. One for a $12,500 tag, the one he'll be running for today, and one for a $16,000 tag. And that was the race in which he broke his maiden, and I think the light bulb just kind of went off there, and he figured out how to run because he's been very consistent since. And he's making his third start for trainer Rashawn Creaky, who continues to have a very successful meet here. I look at his numbers, and I'm just really, really impressed. He's winning 41% of his races and 45% of his races when Kevin Krieger is riding his horses.
Yeah, and Kevin Krieger board for victory. That one of those victories you mentioned on April 26th. Horse we had in second was the 2 Willie Pay. Finished second in front of Discreet Ed. That was back on May 17th. Is returning to the grass today after showing early interest in fading. But that was against $25,000 3 lifetime claimers going a mile on the main track. And he was successful on the turf at this level and distance back on April 27th. But he was disqualified, so proved he can run well at this level, but had a little trouble and was put that. So I put him in the second spot.
I did too, for all the same reasons. And then I threw in the 7 Fiddler's Tango. He got caught up in the trouble with Discreet Ed last time out, and unlike Discreet Ed, he was not able to recover at all. He ended up finishing 11th. But before that, he was 3rd behind the horse we just talked about, Willie Pay, and another horse named Jupiter. And 2 starts back, he won going away, and that was, again, here, and that was at this distance and for this tag. So I definitely think he fits right in this race.
Well, let's go back to the main track for our third race. A 5.5 furlong sprint maiden. Claimants Fillies and Mares 3 and up. $12,500. Scratch number 2, Gibson's Little Grace. And we both, well, no, you did not. You went with the number 4. Let's hear why. I thought we both had the 8, but I was looking back.
I do like the 8, Nina Linda, but I ended up going with the 4 horse Jalise. I just wasn't seeing anyone that I was really sold on, and I like what this filly has done. She's cutting back to 5.5 furlongs after 3 starts, going 6 and 6.5 furlongs respectively. She's been in the money in 3 of 5 starts and in 4 of 5 when running for this tag. Also, what I liked was maybe a little bit of a deciding factor for me. She gets a 7-pound weight allowance for having apprentice Carson Sullivan in the iron, so she gets a little bit of a weight break, and if things get close, carrying a little bit less weight may help her out.
Yeah, 5-1 on the morning line, so a nice hook in there. We built that to number 8, Nina Linda. This one's dropping to this $12,500 level on the dirt. Duel for the lead and weekend to finish 7th, but that was against $25,000 maidens going 5/8 on the grass, but that was just 7 days ago. So short turnaround, making a bit of making a surface switch, so a little bit of a shaky proposition in there, and I can understand why you went with the number 4 horse in there. We're going to flip the page and go to the 4th race. This one is 5 furlong maiden event, fillies 2-year-olds, but we're going to go back and look at the horse I had on top and the horse you had on top, Curlin Princess race on, I think it was May, I forget when it was, May something.
This was May 16th.
May 16th.
This was a 4.5 furlong. Curlin's Princess completely ducks in. She was making quite a nice little move there. And then the crowd, I guess it was her very first start, so I think she saw the crowd and got a little bit nervous and shied away. And obviously that cost her the race. But I think you should see a vast improvement from that today. This is a daughter of Curlin, so on Belmont Day, I think he's worth mentioning. I will never forget that Belmont run with Rags to Riches, one of the most memorable Belmont races in my lifetime.
And they're adding blinkers today, which I think is the key to Curlin's Princess, because, you know, as you said, ducked in during the stretch. Marty Wilson, the trainer, he's almost 25% with first-time blinkers. So when he puts blinkers on, it's usually for a good reason. And you're absolutely right. I'm expecting a big performance from number 6, Curlin's Princess. Who else did you have on your ticket?
I went with Eris Bostafani. She is debuting for Wesley Ward, who owns and trains her. She's a Florida bred by Wildcat Air, 5 published works going in today, and Wesley Ward winning 23% with his first-time starters. And she also gets a 10-pound weight advantage with apprentice Michael Ritvo in the irons.
Yeah, and I mean, Wesley Ward, if you're not aware, he's one of the best trainers of young horses in the country. Not only in this country, in Europe. He goes over to England and wins all those races where they wear those high hats and everything in front of the Queen. So he does an excellent job. And I closed it out with Artistic Touch, and you had the 4-horse in there, and the 4-horse won.
My Alex Alexandra, she debuted in that same race with Curlin's Princess and was 4th, but she broke slowly that day. So again, I'm just expecting an improved effort, and I think she can get a piece of the purse, though I do think that Curlin's Princess by far is the best filly in this field.
Well, the 5th race this afternoon, 6 furlong, claim is 3 and up, non-winners of 2 and live, $12,500, and we have one more video we want to show you here, and this is of a show, I think it's Seastar Run, having trouble at the start.
Yes, more than a little bit of trouble. You're going to see Seastar Run here. This was from May 25th. She completely misses the break. I mean, doesn't break at all with the field. She ends up trying to make a run, but she was 13 lengths off the pace, not going to get it done that day. But you are going to see 2 other horses that are in this race, Storm Haboob and Forged, finish 2nd and 3rd. So those are others to keep an eye on.
Yeah, and that you can't spot the field a big break like that and expect to win, you know. So we're expecting good things from the number 2 horse in here, Caesar Run. But you had the number 8 on top of your ticket.
Yes, I do. I like Caesar Run, but I liked a Real Fancy Place just a little bit better. He broke his maiden at first asking by 9 lengths and followed it up with a 3rd place finish here on May 9th, going 5.5 furlongs, which I think is a little bit of a key race because that was won by Raceback, who we liked earlier in the card. And Raceback actually carried a Real Fancy Place about 6 wide on the turn in his last race, and that certainly cost him a good bit of ground. And Caesar Run was able to get by, make a run on the inside there. I don't even think Caesar Run saw or Real Fancy Place saw Caesar Run. He's making his first start for trainer Herman Walensky, who is winning 24% of the time with horses first off the claim. And this is a Real Fancy Place's 2nd start off the layoff. After breaking that maiden, he didn't run again for almost 11 months. Then he was, 3rd last time out, and I think 2nd start off the layoff, you're going to see an improved effort and a fitter horse.
Well, we are different in this particular race. I went with the number 6, Determine It, and moved to the Kirk Zadie Vaughn, be the claim, turn it back to 3/4 a mile, duel for the lead, finished 2nd. That was at Tampa against $16,000, 2 lifetime claimants. Here's a stat that'll get you interested. Kirk Zadie, 46% with new claims. So I'm going to play the percentages, put them on top of my ticket. But you see, we're all different there on the top. So you might want to use 4 or 5 of these horses when you're putting your Rainbow 6 ticket together. We're going to go back to the turf for our 6th race. 1 mile and 1/16. These are maiden claimers 3 and up. $12,500. Scratch the 8. Dark Urmista and number 11 Gavel Down. I went with the 4 Colonel Gian, and you went with the number 5 Head Wing.
I did go with Head Wing. He's coming up a 3rd place finish on May 24th, going this distance, and 2 starts back, he was just a neck away from getting that elusive maiden victory, and the jockey lost the whip in that race, so who knows, that could have made a difference.
Yeah,
I think he's, ready to win.
Yeah, and I put in my analysis, I put the 4 on top. You see we have our exacta flip-flop. And my last comment was, the number 4, Colonel Gian, gets the tepid nod, and I thought was a very competitive race and really hard to zero in on just one winner. So we have our top 2 flip-flop. I went with the 3 and 3rd, driven by Desire, late striding type. I don't know if this horse can win. I just thought maybe could grab a share of the trifecta or superfecta.
I liked Colonel Gian, but I wasn't sold on him because he's never run on the turf and just hasn't shown that much. He's taking a considerable drop in class, but he only has 1 second-place finish from 4 starts, nothing else on the board, and he didn't do enough to grab me.
That's what I said, wide open.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? 7th race, 1 mile, main track, claim is 3 and up, non-winners are 2 in life, $16,000. I went with the 7 in here, flat in charge, and I'll go first, I'll tell you why, because this is my best bet of the day. I like this horse today. 3rd behind my Nobleman in here, who's the 5 horse who I picked 2nd. That was going a mile 70 yards, was on May 9th, then comes back and runs 2nd against similar quality. That was in the 2-turn mile last time out across town. Now this one showed a definite fondness for racing 1-turn miles here. Broke its maiden by 8+ lengths back on March 26th. Ramsey Zimmerman in the saddle, and I just think off those performances across town, racing around 2 turns, cutting down back to 1-turn mile. If you're not aware, at Gulfstream Park, 1 mile race is only going around 1 turn. They break in the chute and come around to the wire. So I went with the number 7, flat in charge. I'm going to single him in my Rainbow Six. Now, what do you got to say about that?
Wow, I don't know if I was sold in him that much to single, but I did like him. I did put him on my ticket. But I went with the 8, Quarton Lake. He's coming off a 3rd-place finish on May 17th. He looked really good in the early going, but he was pressured throughout, and he got caught up in a bit of a speed duel that cost him at the end, and he tired. This is the lowest tag that this horse has ever run for, and he's only started 6 times, but he ran in a $75,000 optional claimer just 3 starts ago. So I think this has to be the right fit, the right race for him. And his only start at this distance at a mile, he was 2nd in a $25,000 starter allowance. So I think the mile is also the right distance for him.
I'm sure glad you put the 7 on your ticket too after I gave it that can't lose speech. We're going to go to the 8th race. 5 furlongs on the turf. Claimants, fillies and mares, 3 and up. Claiming price $30,000. Scratch the 9, the 11, and number 12. I went with the number 3, Our Girl, She Gone. You went with the number 7, Starship Journey.
Yes, and I'm going to talk about her first because she is my best bet of the day.
There you go.
I love Starship Journey. She's won 2 of her last 3, all at Gulfstream, all at this 5 furlong distance. 2 starts back, she actually ran in a $75,000 allowance, and she was actually making a move when she gets completely stopped. The jockey has to check really hard. Then I watched her again make another move and almost take the lead, but then she got tired. Too much trouble there. This is a very game filly. She's won against better company, and her trainer, Steven Dwoskin, is winning 26% of his turf sprints. So that's why I like Starship Journey.
You sold me. Let's go to the 9th race. 1 mile, an allowance optional claimer, 3 and up, $25,000. And we have another video in here. We want to show you a couple of interesting things at the start of this race.
Yes, definitely some interesting things going on in this race. We're going to take you to 2 parts. The first is the break, and you're going to watch the 3 Joe's Gone Wild and the 4 Birdie House right there. Where'd they go? They get into some pretty significant traffic trouble. They don't really have much of a shot, but I don't know if they would have anyway because Rock Alex, who I have on top here, ended up winning by 11¼ lengths this race. I picked him that day. Very, very glad I did. Rock on with Rock Alex.
Yeah, Rock Alex. And, I always look through the past performances of horses to see if they've done something in the past. And this horse has shown the ability to put together back-to-back victories because a lot of people think, well, after a performance like that, a horse can bounce. But if you look at his past performances, he's won, come back and won again. So I like to see that. So the 9th race, I had Rock Alex on top for all the reasons you mentioned. I went with Macho Bull 2nd and Banner Bill in 3rd. Anybody else in that race before we flip to the 10?
I like Birdie House that you saw there in that video getting shuffled back at the break. He's the most inexperienced horse in this field, only has 4 starts in his lifetime, but he obviously had some traffic trouble last time out. And prior to that, he broke his maiden by 7¼ lengths.
Okay, let's get to the 10th. 1 mile and 1/16 on the turf. Claimants 3 and up, non-winners of 2 in life. And we have another video we want to show you in this race. And this is the stretch run of 6 horses that are going to be in this race. They're all coming down the stretch together.
Yes, get ready to be bombarded with a lot of horses that are going to be coming back today. You're going to see Caminito, who was 3rd in this race. Gridiron Great was 4th. Valid Concept, also in this race, is 6th. Duke of Ritchie is 7th. Tis Now My Choice is 10th. And for all the marbles who ended up scratching out of this race, he was also in there, finishing 11th. So, talk about horses knowing each other well. All coming out of the same race. You're going to see them all again today. But I actually ended up going with none of them and taking Oh the Gift as my top selection in this race. 3rd last time out in a $16,000 allowance. Taking a slight drop in class today. Was beat just 2 lengths last time out, and that was at this distance. The only win of her career came at Gulfstream as well, so I like that, likes this track here. And her trainer, Michelle Nihai, is winning 33% of her claiming races.
Yeah, and you know, we both had the number 10 Caminito on our ticket in the 2nd spot, and this one was going to wear blinkers today. And I watched this last race, went back and looked like it might have made a premature 4-wide move there. Got a little tired at the end, finished 3rd at this level in distance. And I just think the blinkers and maybe moving at the right time could help this horse win the final race of the afternoon. And then we both have the number 2 Trier, who tried real hard when it won last time out.
Yeah, the only thing with Caminito that I wasn't quite sure with is that his only win came on the dirt. So I don't know if he loves the turf as much as the dirt, but definitely a shot today. And Trier stretched out to 1 mile and a 16th last time out and broke his maiden. So that's what he'll be running at today. I think he likes this distance. And this is, again, the lowest tag that he's ever run for, but it is his first time facing open company.
Sorry, Katie.
That's okay.
We have to give our Belmont selections now, and I have to admit, I was shocked when I saw your selections today because you've been a big fan of California Chromes, but you changed your selection today. Please tell me why.
I did, and it's not that I don't like California Chrome, it's just the Triple Crown is so tough. Again, it's been a 36-year drought since we've seen one. We've seen 12 horses win both races and then fail in the Belmont. And just racing 3 times in 5 weeks, all at classic distances, is so tough. And I've been reading some really interesting statistics. 12 horses, again, like I mentioned, have won the Derby and the Preakness and lost the Belmont. And there are some really good horses, and I forget this, but Spectacular Bid won the Kentucky Derby and the Preakness and lost the Belmont.
Right.
Such an amazing horse. And if you look at field size, no Triple Crown winner has beaten more than 7 horses in the Belmont. There's going to be 11 horses today, and that was the same amount of horses in War Emblem's Belmont when he lost with jockey Victor Espinoza, who is on California Chrome. Then, no experience. California Chrome has never raced at Belmont. All 11 Triple Crown winners either won or placed in a stake at Belmont prior to running in the Belmont. And just the unpredictability. Anything can happen. A stumble at the break, you know, a bad trip, getting out wide, even in the rain, which it is good weather today. But I'm going to stop talking because I could go on for this forever, and I want to hear what you have to say about this race.
I use General A-Rod. If you know, if you've been following me, I picked him in the Preakness, I picked him in the Derby, and now I'm picking him in the Belmont. And I just think for all the reasons you mentioned, you know, that this horse tried so hard, he keeps getting in trouble, and I just think there's going to be a 2-pronged attack or 3-pronged attack on California Chrome when he's going that 1.5-mile distance. And I think a horse like General A-Rod, who I've liked since he ran here at Gulfstream Park, could come closing late. So I'm going with General A-Rod, and you're going with?
I am going with Wicked Strong, who, again, I've liked since he ran here. He's fresh after skipping the Preakness, 4th in the Derby, and he had a terrible start breaking from the far outside. Not the best trip, was dodging in and out of traffic all the way down the stretch in the Derby. And he broke his maiden at Belmont, so we know he likes the track, and I think this is a tremendous horse with a lot of upside today.
Well, we'll know at about 6:54 tonight what happens in that. Good luck with all your selections today. Enjoy all the races here at Gulfstream Park. And don't forget, you're here on ground. Stop by the gift shop and buy some of this great stuff. Thanks, Katie.
Thank you, Ron. Have a great day, everyone, and good luck.